What's up, gamers? Welcome to another episode of Final Fantasy 15, A New Empire. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with some more defense this time. Last time we went over how to be somewhat aggressive depending on what you're trying to do. Now we're going to teach you how to defend yourselves, because this is something that I really believe the majority of people who play this game really need to know. Too often do I see like guilds that I'm in get attacked, and all of a sudden, people are kind of at the point where they just don't want to play anymore. They're sick of getting hit. They're always losing their stuff. They go through all this work building and building their resources just to lose everything because, of either a war between guilds or, RVR, things like that. So I kind of wanted to help you guys in terms of letting you guys know how to defend yourself. And then later on, I'm going to give you some resource building tips. Just something I've been doing a little bit myself. So, for starters, recently the new guild alliance that I joined got into a war with another guild about a week ago, as a matter of fact. And I tried something new. And I'm going to show you what happened. Now, actually, before we go over this war, well, you're going to see it anyway. Take a look at my mail here and my reports. Boom. A whole lot of victories and losses here. You're going to see why. But before I show off this defensive war, I did want to show you guys one thing before that I've never seen happen. Apparently you can get insta-kills in this game. It happened during the Halloween event, which if you were not attacking these flanges, you missed out on a lot of goodies. But yes, it was at 52.83% left. And of course, anyone who's been fighting these knows that no one deals a whole lot of damage to this thing at all. If you can get to even 1%, that meant something, like you were cheating. But for some reason, and I guess it was just a random thing that the game was doing, it actually just let me insta-kill something, which was freaking fantastic because I got all those rewards. Each of those bag of trees gets you hundreds of thousands of resources a pop. So, I mean, in the beginning, it was millions. So, I just wanted to show that off because I just thought that was cool. I'd never seen that before. And now that I've shown this off, I can delete this finally. I've been holding on to this for a while, just so you guys know. Alright, so here's the meat and potatoes of it all. As you can tell, I went up against this person, and me on the left, them on the right, obviously. And the first time this person attacked me, I actually won. Okay, there's a reason that this means a lot. I'm only a level 18 Citadel. The person who attacked me was a level 28 Citadel. The person has tier 3 troops, I only have tier 2 troops. But yet I was able to score a victory? Let me explain why. First and foremost, when you're either about to be in a realm versus realm event, or you're just in the middle of a war, or just, whatever situation where you're going to get hit potentially, one thing that you should do absolutely is anti-scout. As you can tell, it says that this red Netflix was prevented from scouting Krugsta. That's right. So that was pretty cool. I did it in the other one, but I forgot to save it, so I just showed you one of the ones that was after the onslaught. So anyway, going back, and yes, I did get defeated a few times. Another thing that you want to do on top of anti-scout, just to make sure that you're in good shape, have some kind of defensive boost. So for example, let me move my chat bubble up a little bit because I'm not going to spend gold right now. Go to special, which is already there, and I actually ended up using what's called Crippling Fear Boost. This increases your Empire's intimidation bonus, and what intimidation bonus does is slows the incoming marches towards your Empire by 25%, increases your troops' vitality, making them harder to defeat and battle by 25% at once with this special Halloween boost. Now, if you don't have any more of these boosts, like all these Red Dead and Undead stuff, Unholy stuff, you can use other things to, help you out. I mean, if you go to war, I mean, as you can tell, I have 7-day anti-scouts, all that kind of stuff. But there are other things that can boost you, like 20% HP boost for an hour. If you're going to be sitting there knowing you're going to get attacked, you can activate this real quick. It can help you as far as, like, still dealing some damage and surviving and rebuilding your troops real quick. And then, of course, I believe there's a 20% attack. Yeah, because it should attack by 20% for 12 hours. That could be something that's really good. So make sure you have something that'll either up your unit's attacks or their vitality. and that'll save you from losing a lot of people very fast. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to win against the higher ups all the time, but at least you'll be able to win some battles. So, with my tactics of anti scout plus crippling fear, these were the results. So basically, what's going to happen here? I'll show. This is the very first attack he did on me, at about 3:41 in the morning on the first. All right, let's see if I can ever get it pulled up here. There we go. All right, so I won this fight. So basically, the reason that I won this fight was because I only lost 13,500 power. He lost 21k power. So even though he was a higher level, I ended up winning. And you'll kind of see what happened is. And here, I think I just like killed him with traps, if I'm not mistaken. But looking at the battle details, as you can tell, he used mage level 3s versus all of my units of, level 2 fighters and then my traps and whatnot. So as you can tell, since I killed more troops than he did, I won. So moving right along to the next fight, if I can go back here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and delete this one. Next attack. I won again. I lost 16k power, he lost 21k power. Again, looking at the battle detail, this is why it's very important to up your walls, up your traps, and then just have a lot of troops just to back everything up. He used, level 3 mages again, 24k of them, and I was able to kill more than he was able to kill. Thus, I won again. And of course, you see kind of the boost that we each had. And you can tell he's a much, more advanced. He has all this extra stuff that I don't have. So we'll go ahead and delete this one now if you've seen it. Alright, then he finally defeats me. So this time I believe he changed his strats. Because he also tried scouting me first and couldn't. So let's see what the battle details here say. So I lost 46,000 power. Yeah, this was a bad defeat for me. So this time he sent some siege engines and warriors. And then I guess at that point he realized, okay, this is going to be the weakness. So again, sitting in those tier 3 troops, he pretty much knocked out, a good chunk of my my traps. So that was a thing. So yeah, he got me this time. When they knock down your traps, you lose a lot of power. And that's more or less why I lost there. Traps do a lot. And of course I lost resources because of my losing. Then he attacks again, I end up winning. I lost 16,000 power, he lost 32,000 power. So what did he do this time? He tried to do a mix and match of tier 3 troops of the cavalry, mage, and siege variety, which ideally is not a bad idea, especially when you don't know where you're going up against. It's just that with my boost and all the huge number of troops that I had, I was just able to defeat a good chunk of them. And also at the same time, as you can tell, I have troops that are wounded, so I was constantly healing at the time, so I was able to, not lose everybody. So if you know you're getting attacked and you're logged in and they hit you one time, immediately I just use gold to automatically revive everybody and let them hit me again. Now I did eventually go to sleep, so what ends up happening later is I end up just losing a lot more. As you can tell, we'll go to the next fight. Oh, actually I ended up winning again. I lost 14k troops, he lost 22k troops. This time we just went for straight mage and cavalry, and I was just able to win. I mean, honestly, the warriors was the way to get me, from what I understand, but he didn't, I guess, realize that from the first victory he had. So, I ended up winning again. And by this time, I'm still losing a lot of troops, so, that's the thing. So we'll go ahead and delete the... Oh, and because I won, I got a Dark Matter level 1. Sometimes you get spoils for actually getting victories. Then the defeats come. I lost 25,000 power. He lost 9,000 power. As you can tell, more tier 3 troops coming at my, tier 2 troops, because I'm not at that tier 3 level yet. So, that was the thing. Lost some resources. And then somehow I snuck out another win. I only lost 10k power. He lost 23k power. Once again, he kept forgetting that his warriors mages were doing more of the damage. He kept sending cavalry, which I ended up just slaughtering for the most part of it. And again, this is the power of anti-scout and a good defense, and this is like tier 3 troops. Someone with Citadel who's 10 levels higher than me, still losing to me off and on. Like, I actually overall got more victories than losses. I'm proud of this. Like, I'm not counting right now, but I believe I won 8 and he won 7 in all total. So here I barely lost 14k to 17k. So he used, more mages and stopped using all his cavalry, and this is more of an even battle right here. But as you can tell, this combination will protect you against higher level people. And then from that point forward, it was a downhill spiral for me. Then I just started losing and losing and losing. As you can tell, my resources are going, and how did I get another victory? Look at that. I'm still getting wins here. What did he send this time? Mages. He forgot to send in warriors, so I slaughtered him again, which was great. I felt proud of this. This was, again, one of the top guilds, sending one of their best people, in the upper 20s, and I'm actually defending myself against them. This is ridiculous. This isn't something that you would normally see. More victories on my part. I mean, this is just nuts. Me still winning against tier 3 troops. Well, this time he actually sent out level 2 warriors. So if he sent out level 2s, yeah, there was no way he was going to beat me because I had a good boost going on. So he wasn't winning that one. It was so bad that he was sending his level 2s to try to get to me. So that's just funny. I guess he was just running low on tier 3 because he was also attacking other people too. And here I go, winning some more. This time he sent more level 2s, and I just kept destroying them because I could do a level 2. So, that's the thing. So, yeah, I mean, I got a lot of victories against this person who's like much higher level than me. And then he went back to destroying me again. So, he finally sent some warriors and mages, tier 3s, taking me down. So I just wanted you guys to see this so you guys knew that even if you're lower level, you can still defend yourself. Especially if you're actually there watching, because you can actually do more. You can just keep using gold to auto revive when they're in the hospital, and then just keep on defending, keep on building, and just knock them. Just basically just frustrate the crap out of them. Yeah, it took a lot of my resources there, which. Yeah, although somehow I still got an item. I don't know why that happened, but I guess they felt sorry for me. So yeah, at this point, I was just getting my butt kicked. I mean, I was running low on troops. I mean, because after a while, your tier 2 troops are only going to survive for so long until you eventually just run out of troops. I mean, that's just a thing. Even though they're more powerful than you are, you will eventually run out of troops. But again, I am super duper proud of what happened here. When you can defend against an empire who's 10 levels higher than you. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say he had his VIP active. I might be wrong on that one. But either way, like, I'm not even really sure how much that even matters, depending on what his level is. But just the fact that we were able to defend so well means so much. I mean, that is huge. So you guys that are lower level, there are ways that you can protect yourself or at least get some defensive wins. Now, obviously, you can go ahead and just put up barriers. That's the easiest thing to do to keep from getting attacked at all. I'm the kind of person that I just like to sit there and fight. The only time that I'll usually put up a barrier is if I'm in the middle of building stuff and I'm going to lose a ton of resources. Then yeah, I'll put up a barrier if I have it. In this case, I didn't put up a barrier. Well, no, I'm gonna take that back. I put up my shield up a day before because I think I was doing something, and then my shield ran out, I believe, and then that's when I started getting attacked. But either way, I was able to, defend myself pretty well. And the sad part is, one, I didn't even have my hero. Little known fact that I didn't realize, if you send your hero with a group of troops out, and someone of much higher stats attacks you when you're gathering on a tile, they'll actually be able to capture your hero. If they can slaughter all your troops at once, you automatically lose your hero. I didn't know that. So before I actually got attacked on my base, I actually lost my hero. This is while I actually had my barrier up. This is like the very beginning of the war that we were going through at the time. So be really careful. If you know that you're going through war, don't send your hero out to do any gathering, because that's just not a smart idea. Hey, we're going to do a free spin, everybody. I actually don't ever get to show nobody this. So this is something they're doing on the casino, where you get like one random thing. Let's see what random awesomeness I get. Most of the time I don't really get what I want, but 100 ether, which is something, I guess. Alright, anyway. So that's kind of like my tips for you as far as defending. Make sure you have a lot of troops. Ideally, I want to have 100k troops. Unfortunately, I only had about maybe like 60 or 70K because I was still recovering from the previous week's, you know, guild killed event. So it's really hard sometimes to stabilize, but you know, it's definitely doable. Now, the reason I'm able to make troops, you know, pretty quickly to some degree is because I have a lot of gil and a lot of food all the time. And why is that? Well, that leads into my next subject: how to do your resources. Now, what I'm going to tell you is going to be different from what a lot of people do. A lot of people have second accounts. They make farm accounts, and then you know they make them specialize in one thing, and then you just attack it over and over and over to get those resources. I don't do that. Not to say that it's a bad thing. I'm not saying to say it's cheating or nothing. I just don't do it. I rather just have one base, do my one thing. I may be behind because of it, but you know what? At least I can say I did it myself with no outside help, if you will, from a second account. So now that doesn't mean that my guild doesn't send me resources, because they do, and I really appreciate them when they do that. But it's not necessarily a necessity. I might as well just do this while I'm here so I don't mess that up. There we go. And I got something. I'm not even really sure what that is. Either way. Um, so if you're gonna be like me and play defense, the best thing to invest in is one, you're a lot of banks. Basically, because a lot of things going to cost you a lot of gil when you're because your defense is going to be your research. Anything that you can do in the university, you're going to need a lot of gil for and a lot of energy for. So those are the main two things you need to focus on. And then, of course, if you want to house a lot of troops, which is what I try to do, you also want to have a lot of farms. So as you can tell, if you can see the screen well enough, I have a ton of farms, and I have about 10 farms, 10 energy, I believe 2 stone and 2 metal producers. And on the gil side, I have about 11 gil factories. I might take one of the banks down, maybe replace it with another barracks or something like that so I can produce more troops. I haven't completely decided how I want to do this yet, but I've noticed that I usually have more gil than I usually ever need. Although with the level that I'm at in terms of building defenses, I need a lot of gil energies, things like that. But the fact that I have 10 of all that stuff that I need makes things 10 times easier for me. Now, because of the strats that I'm doing, this makes it to where the amount of metal and the amount of stone that I can produce is basically at very minimum and is not helpful at all. So I'm either gathering on resources tiles for metals and stones, or if I'm desperate to build something specific and I want to do it soon, I will basically ask my guild to help me out a little bit. And if they're able to help, I help them out. And then vice versa, I give them gil when they need it, things like that. So, that's the good thing about having a lot of certain resources, is that you can help your guilds, pretty easily when you can produce so much so fast. And the reason that I keep a lot of, farms as far as food is concerned is I want to have a lot of troops. Now, some people will have a lot of troops in like no farms because they just won't care. But I'm the kind of person, I kind of take it personal. I'm just kind of like, well, I if I'm I would rather be able to afford to eat, and I feel like my troops would starve. So it's not really a strategic thing; it's more of a personal thing. But because I always have food producers, I can always afford to keep buying and buying and buying troops. So that's another thing too. So if you're going to be defensive, focus on energy, focus on food, focus on gil. Those are the main three things you need to focus on to, one, do your research, much easier, and two, to be able to build troops and hold troops faster. So that's what you're going to want to do if that's your, alley. I would also recommend, focusing on gil and food if you're going to be on the offense as well. I mean, because you're going to be losing, troops if you're going to be constantly attacking. So you can keep building and keep building and keep building until, things happen. If you're not really as far into the whole defensive thing and you're just trying to build structures in general, you may want to back off on maybe some of the food or something else and just focus more on stones and metals, because stone and metal is really what you need for a majority of your buildings. So, it really just depends on your play style. Since I'm a defensive guy, I'm teaching you defensive strats, which is energy, food, and gil. Just keep that in mind. And then, of course, make necessary adjustments here and there as you may. Help out your guildmates. Your guildmates will help you. Very important details. And then that's really, the majority of this video. I just kind of wanted to give you guys some tips as far as, staying alive, defending yourself, and letting you know that it can be done. So, hang in there. Because a lot of people have gotten to the point to where they want to quit this game because they can't, it's mentally stressful when you build so much and you do so much just to see, your troops get slaughtered. Keep in mind that these people that are attacking you are like 10 plus levels ahead of you. Do not expect, to just be able to defend yourself. And they don't expect no one to ever attack you. This is a war game. People will attack you. It's as simple as that. Especially with events that promote attacking each other, you're gonna get hit. If your guild and another guild gets in a war, you're gonna get hit. And that's just part of the game. You just gotta learn how to play according to it, and just know you're gonna have to do a lot of rebuilding here and there. But if you really enjoy this game as much as I do, just keep playing and keep building, and you're gonna get stronger. I've been attacked a lot of times by the top guilds in this entire game, over and over and over. No matter what guild I join, we're always a target somewhere. You know, and I'm not upset about it. You know what I mean? I understand this is a war game and I'm gonna get hit. But instead of getting upset about it, I just, rebuild and move on. And I keep getting stronger and stronger. When people say I'm going to zero you, let's just be honest. That is not a legit term. You can't zero somebody because there is a certain power you can't eliminate. They cannot eliminate anything that you get through your university. They can't do that. The power that they lower is your amount of troops, your traps, and that's pretty much it. So, I mean, you're still, like, with right now, I have about 700k power. If I was to get heavily hit right now, I'd be down about 200k power. That they're not going to be able to go any further lower than that because I do a whole bunch of university. So if you focus a lot on university, you'll still have some power left. Just keep that in mind. They can't take everything from you. And then, of course, play smart. If you know a war is coming, if guild kill event is coming, an RVR is coming, and you just don't want a part of this, always save up your loyalty to get, barriers. If it has to be the 8-hour barrier, or if you can afford a 24-hour, good luck. It takes forever to get that much, but, more on you. Participate in events that can potentially win that for you. Also, if you build 10 of, certain resources, you do get rewards for it. So I highly encourage you to build at least 10 of something that you need a lot of, because you get stuff. As a matter of fact, when I built 10 energy factories, I got a 24-hour barrier out of it. That's freaking awesome. So, you should consider doing something like that too. Now, I don't know if each one has different rewards, but I've done, 10 for guild, 10 for food, and 10 for energy, and I always get rewards because of it. So I recommend you do it too. Other than that, I mean, hopefully this video has been helpful to you. If you have any questions, comments, or even maybe just something in the future to talk about, feel free to comment about it and let me know. For those of you who have been watching and subscribing, I do appreciate it. It's more motivation knowing that, there is someone out there who cares about these videos. So I appreciate all you guys who have been, like, subscribing and commenting and things like that. Just keep it coming. And we'll see you next time when something interesting happens. Oh, you know what? One more thing, too. I'm going to strongly encourage you not to rush to level Citadel 20. If you're Citadel 19 right now, so right now I'm only 18, but if you're 19 right now, I would highly recommend building everything else before going to 20. Once you reach level 20, your hero can be banished. And I don't know if you really want to deal with that or not. So because right now there are a lot of promotions that are like saying if you pay $100, you can automatically be level 20. Unless you're prepared for that, I wouldn't do it, because best believe that those top guilds are still going to be attacking you, and they're going to take your hero and they're going to banish you. And of course, there are tactics to prevent your hero from being taken, like ghost rallies, yeah, that's pretty much it, ghost rallies and barriers. But if you're not prepared and you're not ready for it, they're going to take your hero, and some people will banish them. So be very, very careful. Also, for those curious about my hero, where he's at, level 27, a couple of gold items. I actually settled for a blue item because I thought the Noxious Daggers was better than the other thing that I had. I took like a small penalty on MP, but I also gained some hero attack. I got the food thing on, which I may replace. I don't know, I haven't really decided yet. And a lot of just hunter stuff. I mean, my hero mainly focuses on killing monsters. So that's really what I expect to try to do in the future. It is a grind, a very slow grind, but I'm doing the best I can. So when you're not spending money on a game, keep in mind it takes a while. I've only spent $25 on this game. That's all I'm ever gonna spend. So if I end up spending $100, that's only because either someone donated for it, or if I like get a huge bonus and now my finances are better, then I might spend $100 on something. I haven't figured out what. So if I ever do decide to spend $100 in this game, I will actually do a video as far as saying what is the best thing to spend $100 on. I'm just not gonna do a video like that because again, I don't expect to get $100 anytime soon as far as extra. So, but if it does happen for any random reason, then I will do a video on it. But yeah, even though I've only spent $25 on this game, the game is still playable. The game is still doable. I just have to ignore all those $100 deals and just build slowly. It's doable. Like I said, I'm level 18 already as far as Citadel's concerned. I can defend myself against higher level troops. If I play smart. You know what I mean? I mean, you can do okay. Don't get discouraged. Don't give up. That's your public service announcement for the day. All right, I'm done preaching to you guys. Take it easy. Game on.